Hey, guess what? This is part 3 of daily number 544, where we learn to be a better gamer. And KatZ has done an excellent job teaching us the better gamer-tude of going for a 4 hatch before anything else build. You couldn't tell because it was off camera, but my thrust was powerful. Sorry, the plague. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to watch the rest of this awesome game and appreciate that it's awesome. I wanted to do a little bit more prep work, but again, the beta was down. I'm sorry. So we're just going to be like, this is rad. Why not? I enjoy StarCraft 2. My illness has been eating into my enjoyment of everything this week, and now that I'm finally recovering, screw it, man. I don't want to work. It's Thursday. A couple links get in here. I'm interested. I guess I would just describe it as that I am intrigued by this Nidus network-based play, propping itself up, trying to do the burst-ins to the front line. I think Zerglings are amazing, only if you have enough larvae for them. And ROOTCatZ is known for a fine purveyor of larvae-ness, 23 larvae. So, Tubby. Infinity 7 Tubby, doing all his defendy things. Look at KatZ expanding, and bless his little heart going for an Ultralisk Cavern. Ultralisk's surprisingly awesome way to come off a high larva situation. Why? Because we have all the larvae for the lings. Yes. And this is an easy way to transition up. Also, Ultralisks, even though they technically are just expensive all around at 300, 206. Actually, my overlay is blocking the minerals, but that's fine. Yeah, they're at 300, 206. And we're going to see KatZ, he just burned all his cash on that. That's great. But yeah, if you have a lot of larvae, Ultralisks are a little bit more powerful of a transition. If you are low on larvae, that's when the Broodlord Infestor tends to be a little bit more powerful of a transition. Because Broodlord Infestor does not require as many larvae, but it does require lots of gas. Ling Infestor, Ling Ultralisk, very mineral focused. Mineral. So great. Our Protoss player is in Doom mode. How to deal with the things. If Doom is imminent, then we must counter Doom in some regard, in some fashion, in some shape, way, or form. Expanding, excellent. Not holding watchtowers, KatZ. Oh my gosh, don't tell your mother, you'll be grounded. She'll make you get a job that isn't StarCraft. No, Mom, no, you don't understand esports. But yeah, the Doom Death Dark Doom Force coming out from Infinity 7's Tubby. Ultralisk Ling, the faster army, can just get this very bad boy army out of position, and here comes that which is Bejugular. I like this play so far by KatZ, just gobbling up all the additional larvae, and this is a wild-ass play that I think is cool. Overlords filled to the brim with Ling Ultralisk. Back home, a defensive mix. Banelings to deal with clumps, Broodlords to deal with clumps of stuff, and all the expansions in every which way. Tubby does a very smart thing. He moves down here before heading up to this expansion. This is a great way to cut off a reinforced path and to knock out a retreat path for these units, but they do have a retreat path, but it's an ugly retreat path. It's a vulnerable retreat path. This is a nice cut in performed by Tubby, and now he can pull back down again. Start heading this wayward. And all the spore crawlers begin to go down. All the multi-prongedness of the dropping. The expansion getting repopulated. This game is just cool. Is it not just cool? These are ultra drops. Literally lowercase ultra, capital ultra drops. Ultra drops. And of course, KatZ parks himself back, gets himself to 20 Corruptors in production, has these Overlords with the Banelings in there. Interesting fact, right now we can Nidus network here, and then retreat all our units back in and still defend this army. Ooh, really sweet, right? Really sweet. the defensive Nidus network. In late game, it's hard to plant a Nidus network and get it up, but it's easy to drop a bunch of overlords and then retreat back through the Nidus network. Denan so gosu gosu nisu. And Broodlord, Infester, say hello to Broodlord, frickin' Baneling Bomb. Yeah. Oh, yes. Rocket. Oh, a trio of stalkers remain. In the meantime, we see KatZ trying to hollow himself out of main, but DTs are like they're so brutal. I would dare say call them imbalanced, brutal, nerf-needing units. What a nerf meter. Now, in Wings of Liberty, we would say when behind Dark Shrine. But now that it's Heart of the Swarm, what do? You build skill rays, because now they have this thing called prismatic alignment, and it is a skill when you turn that on. You might be not in the battle, and you don't know whether to turn it on or not. The answer is that you shouldn't. And if you figure that out, then you should build the skill rays. So skill rays are being produced en masse. Kind of an interesting notion for a late game transition, right? Just massing up the Stargates. This is actually... Let me stop being such a goof for a moment and note that this is a very, very effective way to manage multiple expansions nearby. Void Rays are quite fast. They fly. They can deal with drops, air, ground, especially with this prismatic alignment. They're a little bit bad in prolonged engagements, but for the short, oh my god, defend this, oh my god, defend that, they're excellent. Zealot Archon Void Ray, something that is being used very, very much by White Ra. All the gateways going down as a result. So now KatZ is in this kind of odd, funky situation where he's like trying his best to hold all these expansions. He's attempting to construct this Broodlord Infestor force, but now that these Void Rays have so much skill associated with them, thanks to this prismatic alignment, it's very difficult to get profitable engagements against them. However, once they do run out of that prismatic alignment, again, in prolonged engagements, really, really suffer. KatZ does an excellent job repositioning. Pulls back, waits for it to be out, and then goes for the punitiveness. Got him. Look at that, loading into the Overlord to avoid death. Oh, you're so versatile, KatZ. You're so clever. Can I grow up and be like you? All I gotta do is 4-hatch first. So KatZ is kind of taking himself all the bases. Retreating out here, that's no big deal. We'll just focus on this as a new home for us all. And naturally, this is the next intuitive spot for KatZ to expand. And it starts sort of withdrawing out of this zone and focusing more on the left. Why? Because that's where all his defenses are. Yeah. Spore Crawler pushing. Ultra still chasing everything. Void Ray's very good against things that can't shoot up. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen, man. Mass Void Rays. And of course, at any time, Dark Shrine. So this is a weird spot. I would ordinarily be like, okay, KatZ, deny this base, take this base, and then soon enough, you win the game. Because your opponent should be running dry. If we're starting to run dry at our 4th, he's gotta be running dry at his 3rd and his 4th. He's gotta be. And in fact, he's at, what, 51 workers? I like how I can click here and it'll just select one of them. That's rad. But what's particularly sweet to me is how strong the new Void Ray is. This is exactly what KatZ should be doing. Didn't try to engage too early. Just waited until his structures were out there. Tubby doing also, I think, a smart thing, doing counterattacks with the Void Rays. Keep in mind, with a Mothership Core, you could recall these at any point, but I think Tubby literally never built a Mothership Core. All the counterattack efficiency. KatZ does some really neat pull action with the abduct, but I'm not convinced as to how excellent it really is in this spot. But at least he did it, right? Beta, beta. Now that everything's been softened up, engaging to just draw out that prismatic core. Some nice abducts. Yeah! Isn't this game crazy? I love this game. Excellent. Tubby accidentally killed off a traitorous Void Ray. Perfect, perfect. And of course, I mean, we started building Void Rays, we may as well build more Void Rays. I would honestly try to transition from the Broodlords into something like Hydralisks. I mean, he doesn't have any Colossi, he's not going to be able to get a lot of Colossi. Hydralisks are fast now and can run away when they charge up for that prismatic alignment. But seriously, these Void Rays are so good, man! I love new Void Rays! Let me actually just select everything just so you can see. Good old skill rays. All the skills. Got him! And now they're even in units exchanged. Now the Z-Lot is the counter-response by good old Captain Tubby the Fat. Tubby the Fat. Now 2 Tempests are getting made. That's awful because these are not Void Rays. This is again why I'm just like, oh, Broodlords, why do you have to make me so slow? I'm real interested in these sort of mobile from start to finish armies. I mean, a map like this is ideal for any size of Zealot counterattacking. I mean, these are just so good. This is just doing stupid, stupid amounts of damage. Tubby continues. Continue, Tubby. Go, Tubby. Where is... Okay, he had Tempest somewhere, but they're super dead. Get him, Tubby. I think Broodlord Infestor will soon enough be just a thing of the past. Protoss is looking oh so good. I'm excited that it might actually get to Swarm style, where the Zerg is overrunning with huge numbers of units, Broodlords being used less and less, more massive amounts of dudes being used more and more. Infested Terrans are truly terrible now. And now it's time to start taking questions. That was a fun part 3. I enjoyed that. Markio Choa's lovely question grabber will grab the questions for me. I think I'm losing weight. I'm hoping so. I'm trying to get rid of this at some point. While I wait for the questions, I'm trying to... That is smaller. This used to just like... These used to just be like exploding. It was like a billowing... It was like a purse was just hanging off there. Some giant milk sack, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, oh, look at that. That's great. Life for Iris. This is day 9. What the hell does Protoss do now late game? I really think the classic unit mix of Gateway, Immortal, Colossus, really strong, made even stronger by the Void Rays. Made quite a bit stronger from the Void Rays. That army that we saw from Tubby that died, let's see, it was at around 18 minutes. As we take a gander over at it, it's not actually the largest army. I take it back. This army is fucking gigantic. This army is huge. But I think it overemphasizes the Colossus. Just a smidge. I mean, this army really should have been fine against this mix that KatZ had. It just got hit at like literally the worst possible angle. This would have been a total blowout had it not been for the Bailey bombs landing oh so perfectly on top. And even then, this is only working because of this stuff going on. That was actually not a bad trade. I think Protoss is in amazing shape. Oh, Spiritual Bust says, what exactly does prismatic alignment do? Void rays do not charge up. You know how they used to be like, if they were working away at one target for long enough? Now you choose when the charge up happens. And that's called prismatic alignment. So you're just chilling and then you see some dudes. Oh! And you can just blow them up with all those blowing up motions and noises. This has gone down. This is a lot smaller. I actually think I'm losing the weight. This is amazing. I'm so happy. That guy Chris says, would you say happy birthday to me? Of course. Happy birthday, Chris. Rock out with your cock out. Elmo Killer 34 says, Day 9, how do you think an Immortal Sentry All-In will do against a 4-hatch? I think it'll do freaking terrible. I think it will suck. It will suck a lot of ass because we can make so damn many Zerglings early on. Wacka wacka pow. Cats, if you would be so kind as to weigh in on that issue. That would be great. Reborn 8U says, Day 9, how early should a Protoss start getting those air upgrades? Do you recommend shield upgrades with Archon Zealot Void Ray? No, I would say do not. Do you think about okay, I'm back. Shield upgrade sucks if you're going Zealot Archon. Compared to armor, that is. Armor is a lot more important because your Archons generally won't even be taking hits. It's the Zealots that are taking the hits. So you want to have those Zealots just armored up and just like just going to town and like getting up in the foray. You will have ridiculously more hit points conserved with armor when compared to shields. So Kat says, in my opinion, Immortal All-Ins are stronger than before because of the Time Warp. Because remember, the Mothership Core can just make that orb. But Kat says, I think I can get more units than most Zerg builds. Actually, yeah, definitely. And the right units too. But it's just a strong build. So hold sometimes, die sometimes. I don't think it has to do with the build so much as Immortal All-Ins being strong and bad control being the bigger factor. So that's what an answer was to that question that was asked a little while ago. I'm just gonna do 2 more questions. I'm in such a great mood. I'm gonna go get dinner, more food. Solo Sortie says, Day 9, how do you think this 4-hatch style would fare against Terran? I think it would fare... Well, let's think. I think it would be terrible. I think it would be very, very bad. Just due to the fact that even if he's going for a 1 barracks expand build, he can still put huge pressure on by just starting to attack. I mean, the whole reason this works is because we can look and say, oh, you went Nexus first. Therefore, you will have almost no ability to do anything to me for a long time. Last question. Last question. Here we go. From the Mavran. Day 9, how do you think Zerg should deal with Sky Toss and the introduction of the Tempest and the Void Ray upgrade? I think that you should first build defensive Hydralisks, get Swarm Hosts, and do Hydralisk Swarm Host aggression. There is not that much that Protoss' opening Sky Toss and continuing to do Sky Toss can do about this. They really need to get the Colossus up, a hell of a lot of other units up, and it's just a super solid, stable, straightforward way to start bringing the noise. I think that that is going to be the big key, getting the Hydralisks up and trying to put on a little bit of the pressure. Zerglings are particularly excellent against a Sky Toss player. All the air things are not good against lots of small dudes. They're much better against larger, focused targets. Done! Guys, tune in tomorrow for watching me play faster than light. He said thrusting epically to the left, and then once again thrusting epically to the right. Huge thanks once again to ROOTCatZ. Go follow him on Twitter, @ROOTCatZ. Go follow his team at Root4Root. What a great Twitter. Or go to root-gaming.com to check out his team. I'm gonna go. Tomorrow's Faster Than Light. Starts at 10 a.m. Starts in exactly 13 hours and 40 minutes. Bye, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful weekend. See you then.